So today I thought we'd have some fun with a big onion on the Big Green Egg. This is one I picked up from our local farm shop, and as you see, it's pretty big. Rather than just dicing it up and popping on some burgers, I thought I'd show you how to make a really fun centerpiece for the barbecue. You want some streaky bacon? I've gone for smoked. One big onion, the bigger the better. This one's probably 4 or 5 inches across. Cheese. This is just a mix of some cheddar that we got locally and some Hereford hop, but anything that any cheese which is a bit gooey is a good one to go for. And we've got some garnish here, just a bit of parsley and some chives from the garden. Lastly, we've got some smoked chips here, which I've just soaked in water for 15 minutes or so, and we'll toss those in to add a little bit more extra flavour. And then because this one takes a little bit of time to cook, you want a little bit of refreshment. Firstly, we're going to chop the onion. You want to remove just the outer skin, so just take off the top, get rid of that. The first layer is usually just a bit dry, so it isn't the most tasty. Once you've taken off the outer layer, just slice off the bottom of the root a little bit. It will just give you a bit of a flatter surface when you're sticking it on the Big Green Egg. And then lastly, you want to cut it about halfway and bring it down to about 1 centimetre from the bottom. So don't cut all the way down. And then we're going to cut into sixths, is usually about right. So now once you've got your onion chopped into sixths, like that, I've got the Big Green Egg at about 300 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius already, but I'm going to bring it up to about 400 or 200 degrees Celsius by the time I'm roasting it. So pop the onion anywhere on the smoker, over the flames is fine. We're just going to soften it up a little bit, so if you give it about sort of 5 minutes or so, that should be more than enough time. So while we're starting the onion, we're going to chop the bacon. I've got 4 rashers. I always say more bacon can't hurt, but it's entirely up to you as to how bacony you want it. So you want the strips, I don't know, about half a centimetre to 1 centimetre apart. Once that's all sliced, pop that to one side. And we'll just chop up the parsley. Just cut off the stems and then dice the heads. And then once you chop the parsley, you just want to chop up the chives as well. It's only been a minute or two, but we'll just check on the onion, see how it's going. We've got the grill to 400, so we'll start closing that down. Let's see how she's doing. It's looking good. So, you'll notice the onion, as it's cooking, will just start to relax. Its core will start to break out, all the different layers, and that's what we're really looking for, is to get those layers to really crack open. So it needs a little bit longer, it's not quite there yet, so we'll give it a few more minutes and enjoy our beer. So the onion's been on for about 5 minutes now, and as you'll see, it's really opened out nicely and it's feeling nice and soft. So get some tongs because it's going to be hot, and just take it off the grill carefully. Try and keep as many of the layers intact as possible. Sometimes they fall off, but you have to live with that. Right. So just try and prise apart each of the layers a little bit. If you've got some layers which aren't coming apart, just cut off the tops. Go. And you'll probably find they just break apart then. You want to get 1 or 2 little bits of bacon, depending on how many slices you've got, and put between each of the layers. So here we go. So once you've been all the way around, if you've got a little bit of bacon left, then just find some of the other slices that don't have as much, pop a bit more in. So we're nicely stuffed now with bacon. So the next step is just pop a little of the parsley over the top. And the same with the chives. And then last but not least, we add the cheese. So with the cheese, same sort of thing, just make sure you get plenty of cheese onto each of the layers of onion, covering the bacon. Now the cheese is just going to crisp off nicely, and you could always mix a bit of mozzarella in there if you want it to be a little bit gooey, and it just gives us a nice cheesy onion bacon flavour. So again, like with the bacon, be generous. So once you've got your cheese and your bacon on, it's time to pop it back on the barbecue for a bit. But first, it's time for our smoker chips. So these are chestnut smoker chips that I've soaked for about 10-15 minutes, just in some warm water. It just means that they don't burn quite as quickly when we pop them on the smoker. Normally I would put them into a smoking tube or a smoker plate, but today I'm just going to pop them straight on the coals because it's fairly hot and we're not going to be smoking them for a long period of time. So it's quite simple, just choose where you want to go and pop them on, but you want to pick them where the flames are and just drop them through the grill. So they'll take a minute or 2 to start smoking, and you can already see they're starting to work their magic now. So just give them another minute or 2 to warm up. And it's time to pop the onion back on. So lifting up's a little bit trickier now. Just place it back on. Be careful, it's going to be hot. So once the onion's back on, we just want to close the lid back down again. You just want to give it 15-20 minutes to soften up and cook all the way through. Again, my grill's now at about 400 Fahrenheit or 200 Celsius. So we'll leave that for a little bit and I'll see you in a while. So let's just take a quick look. It's been about 10 minutes or so and we'll see how it's getting on. It's starting to look pretty good. So you just want to test and check each of the layers and just see how soft they are to know how cooked they are. Just give them a bit of a wobble, and if there's a little bit of give in them, then you know it's going to be good to go. I think this one's going to take another 5 or 10 minutes or so, I'd say. At this point, if you've got any cheese left, it's worth adding the last few bits because it will just brown off nicely. It's been about 15-20 minutes now. Let's have a look. I think this is looking pretty good. All the layers seem nice and flexible. I think she's cooked. Let's get her off. And there you have it. A big onion cooked on the big green egg. Time to go and enjoy it.